we weren't even really going to talk about the Squid Game because a lot of people have done that. But I'm going through my newspapers, as one does. And I see a bat signal that just summons us, something that represents everything that we're really about. And LeBron James is beefing with the director of the Squid Game. And you can't pass this up. This is like we are sharks and there's blood in the water.
Life is stranger than fiction.
Yeah, no, there is shit and we are flies. Like we have to rush towards this. And so LeBron James, Bron,
King James,
King James is in that they say in that movie. He said that he don't like the ending. Now I know a lot of you out there listening to this, you might be thinking, well, he's entitled to his opinion, and maybe you didn't like the ending that much either. But no, it's probably because you don't follow bounce ball. I know a little bit about bounce ball. And LeBron James is just legitimately one of the stupidest people in the world. so you're misinterpreting what he's saying. LeBron James, I guarantee to you, this is a fact. You can look it up. He thinks this was real. He thinks this was a documentary. So what he's really saying is those people should have been brought to justice. He doesn't like that they got away with it, and I understand Bron and where he's coming from.
I mean, when he was watching the documentary, the whole time he was just thinking, where's the diversity, B?
Yeah, no, for sure. Like he didn't, LeBron James looks at Squid Game and he's like, I don't get it. There's only white actors.
And then he tries to start beef with someone double his IQ. Like, what does he think?
No. It's more than that, bro.
Probably like quadruple.
Have you ever seen his Twitter? Like, he can barely speak English. No, LeBron James, I'm not joking. This really happens. He'll be like the type of guy who he'll invite the media in, and he'll be holding a book he clearly hasn't read. And like sometimes he'll like be holding it upside down and shit. He doesn't know which way the letters are supposed to go.
His brain don't work too good.
No. And again, I think people are being a little harsh on him. Like, if you didn't want him to get all riled up and upset, like you shouldn't have had so many bright lights and fancy colors in the show. What you expect?
Bro, they got him with the jumpsuits the main characters are wearing. He's like, yo, that's my drip, B.
It's just like all those kid games. It's like he's like, yo, why is it gotta be so complex? Oh no, but again, he kind of has a bit of background in Squid Game because I don't know if you guys remember, there was that really tragic incident where that young girl was trying to kill people at a party with like some scissors or a knife or whatever she had.
Yes.
And then, a heroic cop showed up and stopped her.
Yes.
And LeBron James was very upset about this. He's like, they just playing. And like he outed that cop's identity and then he took it down. And then he put up some misspelled words like, this nah, I'm upset though. And like he tried to incite a riot, and then he was upset that people didn't let him incite a riot. And people pointed out that like, no, you shouldn't be allowed to stab people, and he got very upset.
To go back though for a bit, now he goes on Twitter and says he doesn't like the ending, and then does he have anything to say about this, or is there
yeah. So the director, he might think that the director made a mistake. So the director responded in English because he assumes LeBron speaks it. and then the director was like, oh, have you seen the ending of Space Jam 2? And like, no, I bet you LeBron hasn't seen that. Again, they just tricked him. They brought him into like a studio and they told him this is real. Like, you're about to meet Bugs Bunny and bounce the ball with him. And that's how they just dragged him along. He gets very big and tough when talking about like American politics and everything. And then China's like, no, shut up and dribble. And he's like, yes, okay.
Also, if you really cared, like, you'd stand up to China.
No.
You have so much money. You have nothing to lose. Like,
he's fake.
He's purely fake. His hair is fake. Have you ever seen that clip of like this guy's probably a billionaire. He can't get good hair plugs. He puts in like fake little material and he puts it under his like headband.
Yeah.
And there's clips on YouTube. Again, I'm not making this up. Look it up. Where like it falls out from certain angles.
Are you saying he has like a 30% hairline?
Yeah, that sounds about right. And again, I don't know. This is how you know he's a crazy person. Just shave your head, bro. Like Michael Jordan already won this battle for all of you. Just shave your head.
Or like take a trip to Turkey. I heard they do proper hair transplants.
No, he'd rather go to the barber shop and like pick up the pieces from the floor and like just
Glue it
stuff
on.
it in. That's what it looks like. This guy is also like loathed by again, not that I follow bounce ball, but from what broke through the mainstream media coverage, like there's several cities where this guy played. This just ends up being loathed. Just an awful person.
Doesn't he like betray his teams and always leave?
Yeah, but he did it in like a way. Like one time he betrayed one of his teams, and he's just like he did like a little press conference and an announcement. No, he just made an entire city just hate him, detest him. But yeah, that sounds about right. You know, he's on pace for that. It's all good. I'm glad Bron.
Yo, excuse me, it's King James, B.
I once tricked a girl into thinking that LeBron James actually was that wasn't his name. That just his parents were French and they named him the Bron James. And again, I'm pretty sure you could trick LeBron about that. Like,
No, probably.
Okay, so having gotten that out of our system, I guess we should probably review Squid Game now.
Squid Game.
Your thoughts, gentlemen?
Good show.
Yeah. So just cutting to the end, we all liked it. I don't know if we think it's as good as everyone else thinks it is, but it's definitely good. It's definitely fun. You should watch it. And we're going to talk a little bit about why we think it's good and perhaps why some people might think it's, better than it is. And I think a lot of that will boil down to everything that comes out now sucks so much. So if you get like a good show,
Yes.
you're inclined to immediately think this is like the most the best show ever. Like if you're in the middle of the desert and you have no water and you just get like a drop of like putrid water, it's still gonna taste so refreshing.
Yeah, the standards are so low. They think Dune is good. It's awful.
Yeah.
Check out the review, by the way.
Check our previous review. Spam it everywhere. It's important. It's our review, not Dune. Our review is probably one of the biggest, most pieces of art in the 21st century. You should
Avoid
watch
Dune,
it.
but not our review.
No. And if you do watch Dune, it should just be so you could better appreciate our review.
Absolutely.
But nah, so Squid Game's become a bit of a cultural event, a cultural phenomenon. I mean, there's an article in the paper the other day about how they're having to ban like Squid Game reenactments in school, which again, I don't know why. Like, what else at this point? Like,
Yeah, no, let it go.
let it go, let it rock. It makes them better people and everything. But no, it's getting to the point where like, I don't know, but I have like family members who are they don't watch anything, but they're hitting me up. They're like, oh, have you seen Squid Game? Have you seen Squid Game? So it's gotten through to the normies. So I guess it's worth talking about. And my initial impression of the show is that it's another example of how family court can just break a guy. Like if you go to episode 1, this is a guy who's pretty desperate because some judge is clearly just took his daughter away.
Yep.
He's humiliating this guy. This guy's emasculated. He has to steal his mom's credit card, and we feel in no way personally attacked by this. I just want to let you know this doesn't happen. You have episode 1. You get the introduction to the character. He's a degenerate gambler. He's in debt to these like mafia loan shark figures who are they're pretty much gonna kill him.
They're gonna sell his organs.
Yeah. Which I guess that's a thing in Asia, right? Because a lot of these Korean movies I watch, it's always about selling organs.
Eyes and organs, like things you can't really get back.
Yeah.
That's money.
That's money, B. And if if Americans made this movie about South Korea, you'd call it rachist. But no, they made it, so it's cool.
Yeah, no, that's probably why it's good.
Yeah. Again, I for one think I'm shocked. I'm looking at the reviews and no one's complaining about a lack of diversity.
They know better.
Yeah, no, it's like
It's because they're not white. They can't say anything.
I mean, yeah, they're not diverse. They're all one thing minus one guy.
So if they say anything, they're the racist one. So they're keeping quiet.
Yeah. Don't say anything. But it's funny how this kind of triggers people from all over. Like, you ever seen there's some the Ben Shapiro's of the world that they really couldn't get into the show because it tries to criticize capitalism and it makes it seem like North Korea it's comparable. That's just nonsense. And It's like, nah, that team's not quite that strong there. This isn't.
No, this is not that show.
No, this isn't a woke piece of work. Obviously, they have their themes and all that, but
It's human nature, like what people are willing to do when things get bad, and
and I think I'm pretty sure the director has even said as much. Like, oh no, it's a little bit about like Korean capitalism, but it's also about like life, like what happens when people are put in these situations and they compete with each other and all that. So you see people go through arcs and journeys and their morality tested, and a lot of the things that actually make shows good to watch. Which I guess the final thing we should say just about the production of the show itself is that it looks great.
10 out of 10.
Very good.
Like they can get this level on a TV show, but people can't do this in movies anymore.
Well, you could tell it's real. There's
real set. There's like
real
actual
set
sets.
pieces and real sets. Yeah,
It's not cheap.
Yeah, it looks great. I mean, again, I personally think it looks better than Dune, which
It does.
That's going to trigger a lot of people, but it's just true. Like the actual real sets instead of like all that CGI and
that's why it looks so good.
yeah, it looks great, and they got the colors are on point. Not just that, the cinematography, like the shots and the angles,
Oh yeah,
was all
everything's
great.
very good.
So no, the top-notch production. The actors did a great job. So no, this is a level of quality that has been missing from Hollywood. Again, it has some shortcomings. I don't think it's the 10 out of 10 show that people are making it out to be, but the quality is there, so it's refreshing compared to everything else we've had to watch. So that's a big reason why it's been such a big hit. The first game is red light, green light.
Which is easy to pass, honestly. I feel like, and if you're like not obese or whatever, you should be able to like pass that.
Yeah, I mean, like, and again, like, it's not that uncommon of a thing. Like, apparently that's what Alec Baldwin was playing when that went so wrong. They moved it the wrong time.
Oh boy.
Yeah. No, so no, horrible. Too soon.
Too
Why
soon.
are you
Terrible.
laughing at that? It's messed up.
Nah, I feel bad. I apologize to the audience in America.
Yeah. No, it's I just like that fake article that was going around tricking people where, they told Alec Baldwin we need to reshoot the scene. He's like, no, I don't want to do that. How about I shoot you too instead? Bang, bang. That's awful, bro. Why are you laughing about that?
Yo, but wasn't she like like behind the camera? Why? She's not an actor.
Yeah, no.
What was up with that?
No, and the director. How do you get two people with one shot?
Yeah, who are both behind the camera? Why are you shooting at the camera?
Oh, no.
This is strange.
Yeah, no. All I'm saying is, and you guys are my witnesses. Obviously, you guys might think I'm making this up, but I would never lie to you. For many years, I would say probably 10 years, I've been telling people Alec Baldwin's going to kill someone one day. No one believed me.
It finally came true.
It came true. No one believed me, but it's true. And these guys are my witnesses. I wouldn't make that up. Why would I make that up?
Absolutely not. He's been saying it.
For years. And to anyone who would listen.
Anybody.
So, again, don't blame me. I'm just, I'm not crazy. I'm just ahead of the curve.
Absolutely.
But so now they play red light, green light. And again, like Baki was saying, it seems a bit easier of a game to pass, but a lot of these people are just getting killed.
They're probably getting killed just from the sheer shock. They didn't expect this. They thought it was just a regular game. Like, they
Okay, yeah. But I would get that with the first 1, 2, or 3 waves. But there's people just getting killed consistently.
Yeah.
So it's easy enough. Just take a few steps, wait. Take a few steps, wait.
Yeah, and then like if there's less time, you might have to do much quicker steps.
Yeah, well, at the end, you can do like the crazy sprint, and what will be will be.
The best.
Yeah, you do a barrel roll or something. You do You do zigzag patterns. All the things they have to teach kids in school these days.
Yeah, for sure.
But you do that. So they pass that. Then they vote to end the game. And
well, just to go back to the red light, green light, probably the most exhilarating part of all the games, I think, is just visually just pleasing, just to seeing them all get shot in their green.
It's like fun.
It's just fun. Oh no, everyone's dying. It's just hilarious.
Yeah.
And also another thing, like a lot of these people are so stupid. Like a common sense tactic is you hide behind someone or you grab them.
They did a little bit of that.
Yeah, but like more people should have done that. It was like 2 guys doing that.
Yeah.
No, I mean, again, this is my point. That's what the director was trying to do to survive Alec Baldwin, but it went right through. It went right through. So.
Oh man. Also, my most favorite part of that game is when the main character trips over someone and is falling, and then one of the other players of literally one hand grabs him and does like a feat of strength, very impressive.
Okay, yeah. So. Well, let's talk about this. So this is a Pakistani guy. He's supposed to be a Pakistani guy. I don't know if the actor actually is, right?
Well, actor of that region who he speaks the language, whatever it is, from India or Pakistan.
He is a brown, and he's depicted as very strong.
Yes.
I guess in Asia they have their own stereotypes as to which ethnicities might be stronger than others.
Yes, for sure. That's exactly what that is.
There's a lot of that baggage going on, but this is a controversial character I found out on Twitter. Twitter, that source of wisdom.
Really? How was he controversial?
So apparently they're brown kids in America who, their parents are doctors and they go to these expensive schools to learn interpretive African dance or something.
As they should.
As they should, to learn the metaphysics of feminism.
Yes.
And they're like, oh, I am so tired of our people being depicted as polite and saying yes sir, thank you sir, excuse me sir, and no, I don't like that. Why is he so polite?
Apparently manners are racist now.
Yeah.
It's wrong to be respectful to people and your elders and
no. You should be one of these bitter freaks with the purple hair. You show up and you start uncontrollably vomiting everywhere. So clearly, this is a bit of a video game because he has high attributes. He's very strong.
Yes.
Despite the fact that if you look at this guy, he's clearly not very strong.
No. Clearly, the directors and writers don't understand what kind of physique you would need to do those types of strength.
He looks like he should work at 7-Eleven. That's all.
Yeah. But no, I think they just believe in. They're wackier than Americans, bro. They probably believe in certain types of blood have inherent strength or something because there's no way you could look at this guy and think he's strong.
No, he's 145 pounds and he's smaller than the main actor.
He's skinny fat.
No, he's literally does not have that. But again, they treat it like a video game, and his attributes are that he has physical strength and low IQ.
He has physical strength and politeness, and 0 points on intelligence.
Yes, which comes in later in the story.
And the reason is he's like a mechanic, so I guess he has strong hands and I don't know.
No, it's in his blood because of his ancestry.
Yeah, he's got magic blood.
That's it.
That happens, and according to the wiki episode summary, that first game killed half of the players, which again, this is noob stuff.
If I'm not literally in the front row and this starts happening, I feel like my brain would be quick enough to be like, all right, this is what you need to do.
Yeah, no, for sure. You just follow the people who are still alive and use that. So they're a little shocked. They're like, okay, when we signed up for this game show, we didn't expect half of us to get killed, so let's end the game show. And then the problem is they go back to the real world where they're all still losers. They're all still down on their luck, degenerates, owe money. They all come back and you get some character stuff. You meet the North Korean girl who she's trying to save her brother. We get the thing you talked about with the Pakistani guy who he injured his boss.
They introduced the main squad where you're supposed to root for.
Yeah, you get the main characters who are going to go through the little arcs and journeys throughout this, which again sounds simple, right? But most shows don't do this.
Yeah, no, not at all. They introduce you to the cop character who has his own completely separate storyline.
So let's talk about that. One of my criticisms, and I think you guys agree, right, is that the show was it had that separate storyline in there, which didn't belong. It only served to make the show longer, which that's my complaint about the show is that it was a little too long. There was some filler in there. If you just cut this storyline entirely out, you improve the show.
Yeah, it would be. What, the show was 8 episodes or 7?
Yeah, 8 episodes.
8 episodes?
9 episodes.
9 episodes.
Oh, it's 9 episodes. Okay.
No, that cop definitely took up 2.5 episodes.
Yeah, that cop took up about 2 episodes.
Yeah, for sure. He didn't need to be there, and again, it just wasn't compelling to me.
It was slow. It felt unrealistic. This guy's alone, and they don't have more cameras to see that he's there the whole time.
Not just that, but some people pointed out in other YouTube videos, if you are going to infiltrate a group like this, you don't take a phone charger with you, you don't take one of those little battery packs or some other kind of signaling device.
You should probably tell people this is where I'm going. Leave a message for somebody.
Yeah.
Come look for me after 3 days if you hear from me.
Yeah,
something
very poorly thought out and
he's a cop and he's pulling this hitman stuff of changing clothes and it's just nah, you're just some random cop.
Yeah, he has too many skills for a regular cop.
Yeah, well, the whole they try to get into it it's he's not really being a cop here. It's because his brother, which spoiler alert, he finds that guy eventually, but nah.
It was just not compelling because everything else was just so much better.
Yeah, whenever those segments would be on, I was just waiting for them to end. Just get back to the games. So we get to the next game, which is the little cookie cracker game, right, where they got to cut the shapes out. And his friend, the guy who was top of his class in the business school, like he realizes what's going on, and he decides not to warn them. He just kind of lets them go off and pick more difficult shapes. So he thinks he's killed a few of them. That they're gonna die.
Yeah.
And it really doesn't make any sense though. Because when you think about it, like this is a little ally group.
Yeah.
Even if eventually you have to kill them, it's still only the second game.
It's too early. Yeah. Why do that so early?
Yeah, they're a moron.
Yeah. No. It's actually the opposite of
Good strategy.
Yeah, good strategy. It's a little stupid on so early on. You don't know what the other games are. Maybe you need a crew in the next couple of games.
No, and then it ends up happening, right? Because later on, I forget if it's next episode or the episode after, they try to kill each other. No, when they try to kill each other between the games.
Yes. Yeah, in between the games.
So he needed a squad to help him out, but he's a moron. But our hero, quote unquote, he just realizes that I don't just have to use the needle. I can lick the cookie,
which is just pure luck that he thought of that.
Yeah,
he looked it up and it's like, oh, it's a little under the light. I think I can.
Yeah, it's like actually a cookie.
Yeah. So that's good. And then you get a little bit of you meet the main guy. They call him the front man, and he kills someone, and
It's all just good, but none of it's like remarkable. Where I'm like, like even with the cookie episode, like the time's running out, and you're seeing these people with a little needle just desperately trying to claw out this special shape, and you're like, this is it's fun. It's fun to watch.
Yes.
But other than that, you're like, okay, what's next now?
Yeah. So episode 4, you get that little story about some of these people selling the organs of the players, trading information.
Weak storyline. I don't care.
Yeah,
because these people are all gonna die anyways. I don't really care what happens to their body after.
Right. That's the problem with that. Is that it seems like you're just throwing it in just to have an organ selling story, which again it seems like it's in every South Korean thing.
Yeah, it's just unnecessary, and it's like an extra little thing for the cop to do, which again I already don't care.
You don't care, and like you said, if you're already just gonna die violently in the game, it seems kind of superfluous and not that important that afterwards they might steal your kidneys. Like,
and they're burning these bodies, so not like your family's gonna get your body back.
No. From a certain point of view, it's like the ethical thing to do to like steal these organs. Like,
yeah, for sure.
At least you might save someone, right? But
no, your life meant something if you're saving lives through the organs.
Yeah. So like what's done is done. So they make their little alliance group. They form their little groups, their little team, and they get a girl. They get a girl on the team, so it's not looking too good.
Yeah. So one of my favorite parts of the show actually is when they're making these groups, and again in Western media or films or wherever, they don't show this anymore, where men and women are different.
Yeah.
And this show really lets you know that, because there's a lot of tension when it comes to making teams where nobody wants women on their team because, for obvious reasons, they're not as physically strong.
Duh, yeah, no. And again, if this was made in America, the women would be like stronger, faster, and everything. And by the way, people have compared this to Hunger Games and all that. And even those shows used to have a certain respect for this. Like, if a woman killed you, like Katniss in Hunger Games, they would have to use like arrows and trickery and ranged weapons. They wouldn't just show up and melee you to death.
Right, of course.
So that's kind of gone away from filmmaking. And again, it might seem like a thing, like, it's, what does it matter? It's just fiction. No, but again, to quote some people, you may not notice it, but your brain does. Every time you introduce a bit of unreality like that, it makes the whole thing harder to take seriously. It takes you out of the moment. It's silly. If you want real drama, you have to be realistic. And if you're realistic, that's just not going to happen. The women are weaker. They have other ways they can fight. They can manipulate. Like, one of the characters in this, she sleeps with the guy to try to manipulate him. They do all sorts of things. There's emotional manipulation. They outsmart them. I'm down for all of that.
Yeah.
But you can't sell the fact that they're equally as strong. They're not.
It's not believable.
It's not believable, and the show respects that. And again, it creates a fun dynamic, an interesting dynamic where it's like, okay, if you are a woman in this game and people don't want you, like, what do you have to do to survive?
Yeah. And oftentimes, and a woman literally gets all the way to the finals, so clearly you can make it work.
Yeah, I mean, it's not impossible, especially with the way these games are constructed, for a woman to survive, but you just have to do it the right way.
You gotta play the game.
You gotta play the game, like in life. You gotta play the game. And, so there's that little riot breaks out. They do the thing. You get your first clue as to the old man's true identity when, as soon as he starts screaming, the riot ends.
Yeah.
So if you go back and you rewatch it, a lot of the clues were there. And the tug-of-war thing starts. Now, my only gripe here with the tug of war is that, again, it's a little. It seems to me like the strategy would be obvious.
Yes.
You're the weaker side. Your only hope is to use some technique and get them to fall.
Yeah.
So obviously the move would be exactly what ends up happening. You just time a let go to hope that they fall down.
Yes.
And the other team should have known this, but again, they're all dumb. That's why they're in this position to begin with.
Well, I think a lot of it's people who don't do sports or any type of physical activities wouldn't know these little things.
Yeah,
though.
they wouldn't.
Yes.
So there is that.
Yes.
So I give them leeway because the average person would just try to keep.
No, it's true. This definitely works on people. I'm not saying it wouldn't work on people. I'm just saying, like, again, this is why these people are where they are. It's just episode 5. Okay, now there's more of the cop thing going on. Again, this wasn't that great an episode. Episode 6.
Yeah, skip right ahead.
Skip right ahead. Episode 6. Okay, episode 6 was a really good episode.
Might have been the best episode.
I think the best episode of the show. It's the one most people are talking about. Again, because of the emotional stakes involved.
And it's literally a child's game with marbles.
Yes. But again, in a show that's super violent, you don't even need the violence that much.
It's all tension because the stakes are so high, and now you're playing this kid's game where I think they choose their own type of marble games. Just you have to collect the other person's marbles.
Yeah, you collect all 10.
The rules are you have to agree to a game.
Yeah.
No violence per se, but you have to agree to a game. And somehow it becomes more impactful and more menacing than like some of the super violent games. Because, again, as Bruce Lee once said, you need emotional content. And they play a little switcheroo on people. Pair up. So they try to do the same thing again, pairing up with the strongest people, thinking, all right, this might be another thing where we have to survive. Plot twist, no, you basically are going to kill the person you pair up with. So there's like one husband and wife who pair up. That's obviously, pretty tragic. You have, people who are friends, like our main guy and the old man. You have people who are in it for themselves, and now their selfishness is going to cost one of them. And then you have the two girls who are excluded, and as only one of them can survive. And they make it really sad because you get their backstory and the way they're going about it. It's just very, very sad.
I'm disappointed they didn't kiss before they died.
I mean, they almost did, right? But like,
I felt like they should have.
Yeah. They had that little emotional thing, and they dragged it out because the girl wanted to get it over right away, and she's like, "Nah, don't kill me just yet. Let's let this build for an hour and let the audience really get attached." And no, but it was very good, like very emotional, and I remember this more than I remember like most episodes of most series. So.
Yeah, and then this is where they what do you call it? Like from episode 1, where they built up that Ali is very strong, but he's very dumb.
Very dumb, yes.
And this really pays off here, where he pairs up with the main character's friend from back home.
Yes.
Who's a really smart businessman, basically.
Yeah, an immoral scumbag versus a guy who's like a good guy, just not too bright, too trusting.
Yeah, and then he's Ali starts winning in the marbles, and this guy has a freak out, and it's basically he tricks him into being like, no, I have an idea. I can figure out a way we both pass, and this idiot falls for it. Yeah,
which again, there's no way for both of you to pass. So
no, he's an idiot. So this guy convinced him, and that's it. He dies, and it's very sad. But I believe it.
You also had again. You may have already figured out where this was going, but still, it kind of hit you when the old man, player 001, and our main guy, they're playing, and he starts tricking the old man. So it's a little sad. And then eventually you get to the reveal where, no, the old man was aware the whole time. And he just tells him, like, oh, what about tricking your friends? Is that a cool thing to do? And the guy's just, like, speechless.
Powerful scene.
Very, very good. And, again, they kill the old man. Except, they don't, because you don't see the body, but
yeah,
it was still very, very moving. The whole thing is very well done.
That's a good sign in all film. If you don't see the dead body, they're not dead.
Especially in a show this gory, right? It's not like they're shy about showing the violence.
Yeah.
And you lose half the players again in a very emotionally packed episode. Episode 7, you go on. The VIPs arrive. You get I think it's white people and like a Chinese guy.
Yeah, white people and Chinese guy. Which
yeah, if you're Korean, I see it.
I see it. No, it makes sense.
And again, you couldn't do this show in America because even though they make white people the bad guys and a Chinese guy, but even though they make white people the bad guys, they depict certain things about those white people that you just would be canceled for if you depicted that here.
Absolutely. There's certain sexual acts that they prefer that wouldn't fly here.
We can't get into it. But it's it's Pizzagate is real. Which is, just kidding, comedy podcast. But no, they arrive, and you get more of this little backstory going on. And then you get to the bridge game. There's little 2 glass panels. This one I also had some criticisms of. As some people have pointed out too, it wasn't quite in line with the other games.
Yeah, it seems like it's pure luck. Pure luck.
It was a little too unfair.
Yeah, it was unfair. Whoever goes first is gonna
die.
You're gonna die. It doesn't seem right.
Yeah. And one character actually did the quick maths, and he was like, "Nah, I have like a 1 in 32,000 chance of."
Yeah, he was like a math teacher.
Math
right?
teacher.
Yeah, he did quick maths.
And then there was the tile guy that he could like.
Yeah, he
the glass
worked in
guy.
a glass factory.
Yeah. Yes.
But because he's a selfish prick, he's like, "Nah, I'm not gonna tell anyone until my turn comes."
And then they literally turned the lights
They turned the lights on, which again, that's
not
cheating.
fair. It's a cheating because again, it's not like he's cheating. He's using his skills, which that's part of the game.
Also, I had one issue with the construction of it because I kept watching them, I just kept noticing how like the metal beams are not that wide.
Yeah,
you could definitely catch yourself on those.
Oh, for sure.
And they didn't do that. That annoyed me.
Whatever is carrying the glass up like that.
Yeah.
For sure, you could probably just quickly walk on that. Like, keep your balance.
Maybe
or
they
something.
would shoot you if you did that.
Yeah, but you'll definitely die if you don't try that.
Yeah,
like,
for
you're gonna
sure.
go
You're gonna die anyway.
You might as well try to like.
Yeah, just literally just monkey bar through that shit.
Yeah, and then you get the. You could see it coming from a mile away, but it's still, it was so fun where the gangster guy, he's like, it's his turn to go first, and there's still too many panels ahead where he's obviously going to die. So he's like, no, I'm not going to move.
Yeah.
I'm just going to block the way unless one of you goes first.
Yeah, and then this is where his concubine, the woman who's using him to get through the game, is basically like, nah, I'm going to die anyway. So she hugs him, and then they have like this death together, which
Yes.
like, it was satisfying.
It was satisfying. It was good. She went through her arc.
Yeah, it was like Romeo and Juliet, but better.
Yeah. It was a love story for all ages.
Till death do them part.
There you go. So, and again, to the point about the unfairness, the fact that it kind of exploded at the end, that's what the point was.
I feel like that was just kind of to kill off any extra people. Like, they didn't want any winners.
Well, they needed it to injure the girl.
Yeah.
Because if the girl was, I guess, looking at it from the plot, if the girl wasn't injured, they would obviously team up and they wouldn't kill each other, so you wouldn't get a resolution.
They only wanted one winner.
Yeah.
Or then the friend is going to be completely evil because he kills her in her actual sleep or something. Instead of just like she's bleeding out.
She's basically already dead and he finishes
it all, which makes him much more evil, which then you don't feel as bad when, later on.
Yeah. And again, they're each left with a steak knife, obviously on purpose. He leaves the girl undefended, and the friend who's obviously been pretending to be asleep the whole time. Our hero isn't exactly the brightest bulb either. He thought the friend was asleep. There's no way you're going to sleep.
No one sleeps like that.
No one's sleeping. He's baiting you, and you're about to take the bait. When you approach him, he's probably going to pop up and stab you in the face. And
that's it.
But so the girl dies, and again, very sad.
Move on to the literally, it's the main event.
The final battle.
Which...
Well, don't forget, though, first we get the revelation that the cop is the brother of the frontman.
Yeah, no, I really don't give a shit about that at all.
We don't care about
Skip.
This is the real finale. Not
Yeah.
The final game is basically...
Episode 9. The actual Squid Game.
Actual Squid Game, which basically, it seems like some kind of...
it's like a hopscotch death battle.
Yeah,
It seems like a cooler version of hopscotch.
Yeah.
And they should play that here.
Yeah, it's definitely some South Korean specific game, which it's cool. I like it.
Yeah. So he goes in, they have a fight.
Well, by the way, the fight... Now, another thing I like about, these Korean shows, unless they're like specifically told that they're like martial artists or fighters, these guys fight like they don't know how to fight, and then the choreography like does that well. They're literally just jumping on each other, trying to stab each other, like with no skills, and it in a way it's better.
It's real. It's real.
It feels real, and it's there's more stakes then because. You'll have American shows where they're literally punching and like slipping and boxing.
Stupid kung fu shit.
When did they learn how to do this?
Bro, you have American shows where like a woman will be fighting and she'll literally jump up, put her legs on the guy's head like in a head scissor and like do like the WWE Hurricane Rana and throw him. And,
it's ridiculous.
And so they have that final battle. He didn't want to kill him, which... A little bit unrealistic at this point, though. But we're past that point.
It's a little.
What's the point? But I get it. The point is like, no, he hasn't actually killed anyone yet.
He hasn't killed right. He didn't kill anyone in the show, right?
Yeah, he never killed anyone in the show. The whole point is like, nah, I may be a degenerate gambler who lost everything, but I'm not a killer. I'm not going to be that guy.
Yeah.
So he makes that point, but then the friend is like, nah, if you don't kill me, we walk away with nothing. I need my mom to get the money. So he stabs himself and dies.
Well, he redeems himself. That's his. He finally does a sacrifice for somebody else, and that's his redemption.
That's it. And then basically the show, I mean, they take him back, and I think it's a couple of months later.
I think it's like a year or something.
A year later, he's got his beard. He never even touches one penny from the money he won. He basically lives off still borrowing money.
He still borrows like $5 from people.
Yeah, which is crazy.
But the only weird thing about that is how come the little gangsters haven't killed him yet?
That's facts, yeah. That's true, yeah. Maybe he paid them or something? Just so, like...
It's a little bit of a plot hole.
It's a plot hole, it's a plot hole, yeah.
But, his own mother died, by the way, so, like, he was never able to redeem that.
Those are a couple of days that he could have had it with her, like, he lost because he's playing the Squid Game.
Very sad, like, he shows up, she's dead. No, he's traumatized. He paints his hair, because that's what you do when you're traumatized.
Well, no, that's after. Before that is a big revelation that the old man was alive.
Yeah.
He gets a little phone call or card, and he goes to this big building where the old man's on like life support.
Yeah, the old man's like, basically the only true thing I told you was that I do have brain cancer and I'm about to die, but it was me the whole time.
Yeah, it was actually my game, but I played it because it's fun. Like,
we were doing all these games we used to play.
Yeah.
Which again, that makes the glass thing like weird again because you definitely weren't playing that.
No, you definitely weren't playing it. It was just it didn't make sense.
Whatever, but no, he's like, we the rich people, we're really bored and we do messed up stuff. Which again, like some people took this to be like, oh, this is anti-capitalism, but like, nah. Historically, really rich people develop some weird things because they probably are bored. But
they are bored. They have so much money and free time, like. But yeah, I get it.
All I'm saying is, if you have a strong stomach and you read some of that Epstein stuff, like you see this dynamic playing out.
Yes.
And which again, by the way, just to remind you, in episode 1 of our podcast, I told you I know where he is and I would tell you where he is if it got 100,000 likes. And clearly, you people just don't want to know because it's not there yet. So we need to get that going. Like, share, and subscribe. The old man tells him all this, and, they watch some drunk guy pass out in the street, and they're wondering if he's going to freeze to death or if someone's going to help him.
They play one last game.
Yeah, a little final game, as one does. And, then he goes and he gives the money to his friend, his childhood friend's mother.
He finds the girl's sister. But just going back to that game, I felt like it was a big missed opportunity on that little bet they made.
Yeah.
With the old man. And he's like, I bet you by midnight or whatever, 30 minutes, no one's going to help that guy or whatever.
Yeah.
And I thought the whole game was going to be he's going to take the power into his own hands and go help himself.
That's what I was thinking too. I was thinking like, again, based on the rules of this game, there's nothing that prohibits you from being the one who helps him.
He would just have to get in the elevator, go down there and help the guy, which he never did. And I think that was like kind of stupid. Like it would have been an easy W for him.
Again, this is why he's where he is, though. Like, there's lots of strategy.
But then he just got lucky, and then the one person passing by called an ambulance for the guy, which like, who knows if that's gonna happen or not? Like you don't know if that's gonna happen.
No.
Even if someone will eventually help him after, maybe it's 2 hours later. The guy was gonna freeze or whatever. Who knows? But I missed opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. And then he goes in, and the guy dies. So he does the red hair thing. He's gonna travel to America to try to get his daughter back from family court.
Yes.
And and on the train, he sees that same Korean guy, the other Korean guy, just smacking people.
Who I found out is apparently he's famous. That guy.
Oh, yeah?
Because he's been in a lot of big movies. He was in that movie Train to Busan, which was a good movie.
Okay.
So he was the main actor from that. But apparently he's like, I'll do this small 5-minute role.
I'll show up and I'll smack this guy around.
Yeah, smack him around. Apparently they're both famous actors in South Korea. So they're like, I'll smack this guy.
He probably just really wanted to smack him.
Yeah, he's probably his friend or something. He's like, for sure.
Yeah,
like, I'm free Friday. Why not?
Yeah.
Probably his fetish.
I was actually flashing back to episode 1 where the guy is just beating him in that little game and keeps smacking him.
Yeah.
And then when he finally gets one on the guy, he goes to smack him. The guy's like, no, take the money instead. I was thinking this guy was just so like mentally gone. He would have just been like, no, I don't want the money. I just want to smack you back.
I thought that's where that was going too. Which honestly I think I would have preferred that after getting smacked so many times.
Just throw me to the train tracks, bro.
Yeah, for sure. Also, if that guy has so much money on him, why not just rob him?
Now you jump him, stab him.
Okay, so there's that too. Like with the little gangster character, like they go through plot hoops because he wanted to basically jump and kidnap the people who are going to kidnap him to the game.
Yeah.
Which you could easily do that.
Yeah.
But like they're like, oh no, his own people turned against him because he owned money and everything.
Yeah,
No. The problem would be this would. If we're being a little realer about it, you could definitely flip this on these people.
Oh, for sure, yeah. That's too many plot holes. But again, you go with it because the concept.
You go with it, and most of it is realistic enough. Like,
yeah.
Again, I'm not expecting. Don't get me wrong. I'm not expecting a documentary when I watch fiction.
Yeah.
This is more realistic than most American stuff that comes out. So I appreciated it for what it was.
Yeah.
And the only thing that's giving me a little pause is that the ending. Clearly, they're going to set this up for a sequel.
Yeah.
And I don't think you should do that.
No, I think it ruins the show by doing a sequel.
It ruins the show, and it's like, where is left to go from here?
It's a good standalone.
It should have been 6 episodes. You take all the cop stuff out, and then it ends the way it does, and then, call it a day. It's a unique show. Nothing else really like it.
Yeah, and I don't think there's much left to do here. Just do something else, but
yeah.
Overall, pretty solid. Definitely recommend to watch.
Not too much you can really talk about, really. It's a good show.
Yeah, like an 8 out of 10?
8 out of 10, solid.
My only complaint is, it's not about the show, but they should do this with hobos, because all they do is take up space, they smell, no one actually cares about them.
That's facts. They should do a real Squid Game.
Yeah, or Hunger Games type thing,
And LeBron James in there, too.
Yeah.
Because, apparently he could win any game, so...
Yeah.
Those hobos will rip them apart.
LeBron James can't win the Squid Game, bro.
That's facts, no.
Red light, green light, that gets him.
No, I get him. He'd be like...
wait, what light?
They just playing.
He'd be like, isn't that...
he'd be like, yo, that's racist.
They just playing.
What do you mean red light, green light?
What's that thing called in basketball where you take too many steps?
Yeah, travel.
He'd be like, nah, but I was traveling, B.
Yeah. No, for sure. The LeBron James idiot savant. And his last words as he shot in the Squid Game would be, there you go. There white people go again.
LeBron, what's your decision?
In this fall, man, this is very tough. In this fall, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat.
Miami Heat. That was the conclusion you woke up with this morning.
That was the conclusion I woke up with this morning.